Hi everyone, Wayne Wells here with the Prosperity team on Wednesday morning, the 26th of June. And I have a topic I want to discuss regarding note-taking techniques. Being able to take notes when you're trying to learn new concepts and learn new information. This is a way that I feel like that I've had a lot of times in my life where I went to school, I went to college and everything, but I had always had a lot of trouble with my note-taking abilities as far as being able to take notes. A lot of times, a lot of people, probably including myself, we take notes and then they never get looked at again. And this is the way that you're able to review your notes very quickly, comprehend the material that was discussed, and depending on if you're just learning for enjoyment or just or learning your test taking, what have you, and whether you learn it from audio, video, or just from a textbook or a book of some that you're trying to take notes from, this should be able to help you able to more precisely comprehend the material that was discussed. The first thing that I recommend, there's several techniques I will mention in the next couple of minutes. And the first thing that you ought to do when you take notes is you ought to have a 3-ring binder. A spiral notebook, yeah, they're nice and everything, but with a 3-ring binder, you may have times, when you're studying a new concept, that there may be brochures or other things that you may come across later down the road outside of that learning session that you may want to, kind of amend or append to that note-taking session, and a 3-ring binder gives you the ability to do that. The other thing that you want to do is I would have a highlighter, and I would take a ruler and I'd run a line down the left side of the page, give yourself about an inch to 2 inches of space to where you can abbreviate your notes, where you can kind of highlight important concepts and just kind of a refresh your memory type column that you should have, to where you can just put little excerpts there and stuff regarding your actual note taking that you're doing on the right side of the page. I would also date and also make sure that you only write on one side of the page and have every new discussion go on a separate page. I would not have, if you only filled up half of a page from your last time and taking notes on a certain topic, and you got a new topic that's being brought up in the new session, I would not do that on the same page. I would go ahead and start on a separate page with the new date and the new title of the topic. You want to have a positive attitude when you're going in and you're getting ready. You want to have total focus when you're taking notes, especially if you're listening to a video or an audio type session or somebody speaking. Because a lot of times, especially with audio and video, I would recommend at the time, if there's not any time constraints with you, is to listen through the audio, listen through the video first before you actually start taking notes, and then start taking notes the second time around with that. It just helps you to comprehend maybe the material better. I would listen to anything that's brought up, like lists of stuff, anything that's bulleted. I would listen to definitions. I would make sure I write them down. Anything that's kind of repeated is usually something important. I would listen for any information that's actually abbreviated. that's usually important. I would clarify, what the abbreviation is, or any acronyms or anything like that. Make sure you understand what that stands for. When you're also listening to somebody speaking, and occasionally you'll get people, especially if you're in like a classroom setting with this, you might have somebody asking questions really not pertaining to the topic and kind of get you off base. And a lot of times you'll get kind of unfocused away from the discussion at hand, and you'll lose track of where the actual discussion is going. So I would stay total focus, even though it's something that you feel like somebody asked out of turn or didn't ask the right question. I would still stay focused on that. So once the instructor or whoever's teaching gets back on track, you can still be within the lines of the discussion and not get behind on anything. I've done this on occasion when I've been in, like a classroom setting. You want to definitely review your notes after they're over. I would review them immediately after you go through the discussion, or you go through the video or the audio, or you're done with that particular topic. I would make sure that you review your notes and make sure that you have everything clarified. Make sure you make all of your abbreviations and your definitions, understand any words. Make sure you understand them, look them up in the dictionary, and make sure that everything in that note-taking session, everything, all the topics that were discussed, you make little, maybe use a star or something like that in the left column just to highlight all the important concepts that were discussed, so that way you can go back and review very quickly. A lot of times when you're taking notes, a lot of us have bad handwriting, and that's why this is so important, to make sure that you abbreviate things and make sure that you go back through your notes at the end, because even my handwriting at times, I'll get sloppy, especially in a long, classroom type setting, or when I'm studying a topic for a long period of time. I will get kind of sloppy with my handwriting, and a lot of times, I won't go back to the notes after the session's done, and then when I try to read it, 2 or 3 days later, if I do, I'll forget actually what the topic was about, and it's kind of hard to, write down your abbreviations and your important, 1-word, 2, 3-word phrases to give you a recall, in the left column of your note takes when you're note taking. There's a lot of other things. I mentioned a few other things in my blog. You can visit my blog. It's listed in the description at the bottom of this video. I'll go into a little bit more detail on some of the other techniques that's helping me out a little bit with note taking. But this is a important strategy, especially if you're learning a lot of information, especially in the program I'm in. There's a lot of videos, a lot of audios, and a lot of information that I have to learn, and to remember all that, you start to get information overload. And I think learning how to take notes in a quick fashion like this, and be kind of organized in your note taking, it'll help you a lot better, and you'll be able to understand concepts a lot more, and won't have to reread stuff all the time. I hope that this video was informational for you. I appreciate it if you leave any comments, or if you have any questions or anything. I'll be glad to answer those for you. Thanks for listening to the video, and we'll see you on the next video. Thank you. Bye now.